Do you ever wonder why you feel different as the seasons change? Why your mood, your dreams, even your sense of self seem to shift with the passing months? Have you ever asked yourself if the month you were born in holds some secret meaning, some subtle pattern that echoes quietly through every part of your life? Carl Jung believed that the story of your soul is not written only in your memories or your name, but in the silent language of symbols, the dance of archetypes, and the invisible rhythms that shape you long before you ever speak your first word. Pause for a moment and look within. If you close your eyes and think about the month you were born, what images arise? Is it the soft thaw of early spring or the stillness of winter's end? Do you feel the wild pulse of summer or the gentle melancholy of autumn rain? Even if you've never really thought about it before, you might sense that your birth month is more than a date. It is a backdrop to the first whispers of your existence, a subtle map for your journey through life. What if you could discover the secret patterns woven into your birth month? What if understanding these patterns could change how you see yourself, how you heal old wounds, or how you unlock the gifts sleeping within your unconscious mind? This is not astrology, nor the simple game of matching personality traits to calendar pages. Instead, Jung invites us into a far deeper exploration, a poetic search for the meaning hidden behind the surface of things, a journey to meet the shadowy corners of our psyche where the truest parts of ourselves await discovery. If you have ever felt as though your life follows a strange, repeating script, or wondered why certain emotions seem to surge or recede at the same time each year, you are not alone. Jung believed that the collective unconscious, the vast sea of symbols and stories that connect all of humanity, shapes our lives in ways we rarely understand. The month of your birth, he might say, is one of those powerful symbols. It is an entryway to understanding not only your individual story, but also your place in the greater story of all people, across time and culture. Have you ever noticed how some people seem drawn to the quiet solitude of winter, while others come alive in the heat of summer's promise? Or how the energy of spring stirs hope and new beginnings, while autumn draws us inward, asking us to let go? These cycles live within us as much as they do outside our windows. In Jung's view, every season is an archetype, a living image in the psyche, carrying deep meaning and emotional resonance. Your birth month, then, is not just when you arrived in the world. It is the landscape of your first breath, the symbolic ground where your earliest self began to unfold. Take a moment to reflect. When you remember your childhood, does the season of your birth feel like a homecoming? Do you notice that you're more at ease, more yourself, when the world around you mirrors the world you were born into? Maybe you were born in July, with sunlight filtering through green leaves, and even now you feel most alive when the days are long and the air is thick with possibility. Or perhaps you were born as autumn fell, and the sound of rain on windows brings a strange comfort, as if you are returning to the source of your being. This is not a coincidence, Jung might say, but a subtle thread that connects your conscious life with the deep, mysterious layers of the unconscious. If you have the courage, share your own experience in the comments below. Have you ever felt a connection to your birth month that you couldn't explain? Has the season you were born in colored your inner world, your dreams, or your sense of purpose? Sometimes the stories we share help others find their own hidden patterns. As we begin this journey together, let's step gently into Jung's world, a world where every moment, every symbol, every dream is alive with meaning. Jung taught that our psyche is not a blank slate, but a living tapestry woven from countless threads, ancestral memories, collective archetypes, and the secret myths of our own lives. Your birth month is one of these threads, shimmering with possibility, waiting to be understood. Jung often spoke of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming the person you truly are. But how do we begin such a journey? For Jung, it starts with awareness, the willingness to look inward, to question the masks we wear, to listen to the quiet voice beneath our daily routines. The month of your birth, the season you first encountered the world, is a doorway into this deeper awareness. It is a symbol that belongs to you alone, yet it connects you to everyone who has ever wondered about the mystery of their own beginning. Imagine the collective unconscious as a vast library, its shelves filled with the stories of every human who has ever lived. In this library, your birth month is not just a label, but a chapter heading, an archetype whose themes play out in your relationships, your dreams, your fears and longings. Jung believed that the psyche speaks in images, and that every image, every season, every memory, every recurring feeling is an invitation to deeper understanding. So what does your birth month say about you? It does not predict your destiny in the way of fortune tellers, but it does offer clues, signs and symbols you can follow if you are willing to look with open eyes. Perhaps you were born in a time of renewal, and the idea of starting fresh fills you with hope. Or maybe you arrived as the world turned inward, and you find peace in solitude and reflection. These are not random preferences. They are the echoes of archetypes moving through your life, the living symbols Jung spent his life seeking to understand. Even now, as you listen, notice what stirs within you. Do you feel resistance, curiosity, longing, or maybe even a sense of recognition? Jung would say that these feelings are guideposts on your path to individuation, signals from the deepest layers of your being. The journey we are about to take is not about answers, but about learning to ask better questions, to see the invisible patterns that shape our lives, and to meet the shadow and the light within ourselves with courage and compassion. Beneath the surface of ordinary life, there are hidden rivers of meaning, currents that shape who we are and who we might become. Your birth month, when explored through the lens of Jung's psychology, is an invitation to follow those rivers, to trust that the story of your life is larger and more mysterious than you ever imagined. And as we begin to trace these patterns together, remember, the deepest truths are rarely spoken aloud, but felt in the quiet places of the heart. Let's walk this path with open minds and gentle hearts, allowing ourselves to be surprised by what we discover. For in the end, the meaning of your birth month is not written in the stars, but in the secret language of your soul, the language Jung spent his life helping us remember. Perhaps you have wondered on certain quiet nights or while walking alone beneath a shifting sky, why the world sometimes feels so hauntingly familiar, why certain places, faces, or even moments seem to resonate with an energy that defies explanation. Jung believed that these sensations are not random. They are the echoes of the collective unconscious calling out to us, the silent reminders that our individual stories are woven into a much larger tapestry. Just as your birth month sets the initial tone of your life, the archetypes living within you color every experience, every longing, every joy and sorrow. Think for a moment about the notion of the mask on what Jung called the persona. The persona is the face we show to the world, carefully constructed from expectations, traditions, and the need to belong. From the day you are born, your environment, its light and darkness, its warmth and cold, its celebration or its silence, begins to shape the first outlines of your mask. If you were born in a time of abundance and joy, perhaps your mask became one of optimism and lightness. If your birth came as storms gathered, or as winter settled in, maybe you learned early the quiet strength of endurance, the art of holding on. Yet beneath this mask there is always something more, the shadow. The shadow, as Jung saw it, is not evil, but simply the part of us that remains unacknowledged, exiled to the corners of our awareness. The shadow holds our unspoken fears, our quiet yearnings, our dreams that never quite fit into the day. And just as the seasons turn, your relationship with your own shadow is shaped, in subtle ways, by the time and place of your arrival into this world. Have you ever noticed how certain times of year stir up memories or emotions you can't easily explain? Perhaps the crisp air of autumn makes you nostalgic, or the first signs of spring fill you with restlessness and hope. For Jung, these emotional tides are not only personal, they are deeply archetypal, connected to stories humanity has carried for centuries. Your birth month, then, is not merely a fact on a certificate. It is a living symbol, linking your personal journey to the ancient rhythms of nature and psyche. Let yourself remember your earliest memories, those hazy moments of childhood when time seemed to move in cycles rather than straight lines. Maybe you recall a particular scent, the wet earth after a summer storm, the sharpness of frost, the softness of new blossoms. Perhaps you remember celebrations or silences that marked your first birthdays, rituals unique to your family or culture. In Jung's view, these experiences are not trivial. They are the foundation upon which your inner world is built. The child you once were still lives within you, shaping your instincts, your fears, your secret wishes. Jung called this the inner child, and he believed that healing comes from honoring the child's voice, listening to the dreams and memories that the adult world too often ignores. If you pause, can you feel the presence of your inner child, the one who greeted the world during that specific month under a certain sky? Do you notice patterns in the way you love, the way you seek comfort, or the things that make you feel most alive? Jung would invite you to see these patterns not as accidents but as invitations, clues to the deeper meaning of your life's unfolding. Now consider the language of dreams. Jung was fascinated by dreams, believing they are the royal road to the unconscious, the place where the truest parts of ourselves can speak freely. Have you ever dreamed of seasons, of weather, of places that seem both real and impossible? Sometimes the unconscious chooses to speak to us in symbols connected to our beginnings, the blooming of spring, the quiet death of winter, the golden harvest of autumn. If you listen, you might notice that your dreams echo the season of your birth, carrying messages about renewal, rest, struggle, or release. Or, do you sometimes feel out of sync with the world around you, as if everyone else is moving to a rhythm you cannot hear? Jung would remind you that this sense of difference is not a flaw, but a sign of your unique place in the dance of life. The archetypes that shape you, hero, caregiver, trickster, sage, are colored by your birth, by the time when your story began. When you embrace these archetypes, you begin to see your challenges and gifts as part of a larger myth, a personal legend that belongs only to you. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning, trying to fit themselves into roles or stories that never truly feel like home. Jung believed that the only true home is found within, in the slow and sometimes painful process of individuation. Individuation is not about becoming someone new, but about becoming more fully yourself, integrating the mask, the shadow, the inner child, the dreamer, and the wise one within you. As you listen to these words, notice what images and feelings arise. Are there memories tugging at your sleeve, old wounds asking to be seen, forgotten joys waiting to be reclaimed? Your birth month may be a key, unlocking doors to rooms you did not know existed. The process is gentle, but it requires courage. The courage to face the parts of yourself that are most vulnerable, most honest, most real. Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a house at night, each room filled with shadows and flickering light. Some rooms feel familiar and safe, while others seem haunted by whispers or laughter you can barely remember. This is the journey Jung invites us to take. Not to banish the shadows, but to light a candle and enter, to greet every part of ourselves with compassion. In doing so, we reclaim the energy we once spent hiding or denying our true nature, and we begin to live more fully, more authentically. Your birth month is both a symbol and a doorway, a way to begin asking the questions that matter most. What do you long for? What do you fear? Where do you feel most alive? And where do you shrink away from your own light? In Jung's psychology, these questions are not meant to be answered once and for all, but to be lived, returned to again and again, as you move through the seasons of your life. If you find yourself moved by these ideas, consider sharing your reflections with others. In speaking your truth, you may help someone else discover theirs. The stories we carry, the memories tied to our beginnings, are often the very things that unite us, that heal us, that remind us of our shared humanity. As this journey unfolds, remember, you are not alone in your search for meaning. Across the world, in every language and tradition, people have looked to the cycles of nature, to the turning of the year, for guidance and understanding. Jung's genius was to remind us that these outer cycles have their mirror within in the seasons of the soul, the ever-changing landscape of the psyche. Wherever you are in your own story, whether you feel lost or found, broken or whole, know that the meaning of your birth month is not a simple answer but a living question, one that will change as you change, deepen as you deepen. In the end, what matters most is not the season itself, but the way you choose to meet it, the courage to face your own beginnings with open eyes and an open heart. If you listen closely beneath the noise of everyday life, you may sense an ancient music playing quietly in your soul, a rhythm set in motion the moment you first entered this world. The seasons outside your window echo the seasons within, and your birth month remains a silent companion, gently influencing your choices, your moods, your deepest longings. Jung's wisdom whispers that the outer world and inner world are not separate. They move together, shaping and being shaped, entwined like roots beneath the earth. Imagine the story of your life as a journey through an endless landscape of symbols and signs. At times you may wander through bright meadows, feeling at home and fearless, while at others you traverse dense forests where shadows linger, each step uncertain. These shifting scenes are not random, Jung would say, but reflect the archetypal energies alive within you. Your birth month, the season you arrived, is one of the first colors on your canvas, a brushstroke that continues to shape your self-portrait even as you grow and change. Jung taught that true transformation comes not from denying our nature but from embracing it. To walk the path of individuation is to become conscious of the unconscious, to notice the subtle pull of old patterns, to recognize the symbols that visit us in dreams or moments of déjà vu, to listen with new ears to the stories our soul keeps telling. Your birth month is such a story, one you may have forgotten, but which has never stopped unfolding beneath the surface of your life. Perhaps you have noticed that certain months bring a kind of renewal, a sense of possibility or restlessness, while others feel heavy or reflective. These feelings may seem arbitrary, but Jung would urge you to honor them, to treat them as sacred messengers. In doing so, you may begin to see how your life is not just a sequence of events, but a living myth, a journey of becoming, guided by the symbols and archetypes alive in your psyche. Consider how your persona, the mask you show to the world, changes with the seasons. Perhaps in the warmth of summer you are more open, more adventurous, letting the world see your playful or passionate side. In the quiet of winter, you might become more introspective, finding comfort in solitude and inner reflection. Jung believed that honoring these natural shifts, instead of fighting them, allows you to live in greater harmony with yourself. The persona is necessary, a way of belonging, but the journey does not end there. Beneath the mask lies the shadow, still longing to be seen. If your birth month was a time of darkness, perhaps you have learned to hide parts of yourself in order to feel safe. If you were born in the light, you may struggle to accept your own depths, the parts of you that are less easily understood. But Jung reminds us that true wholeness requires both the light and the shadow, a willingness to greet every part of ourselves, not with fear or shame, but with curiosity and compassion. This is the heart of Jung's teaching. The journey toward individuation is the journey toward integration. It is not enough to embrace only what is bright and visible. We must also invite the lost, the silent, the hidden parts of ourselves to join us in the light. Your birth month and the symbols it carries can be a starting point, a gentle doorway into the rooms of your own soul, each one holding memories, gifts, and lessons waiting to be reclaimed. As you move through the cycles of your life, you may find that the meaning of your birth month changes, deepens, reveals new layers. The child you once were, shaped by the season of your birth, may carry wounds that still ache in the present. Jung would say, "Do not turn away. Instead, become the loving parent to your inner child, offering understanding and kindness to the parts of you that never stopped hoping for acceptance." The seasons within you are not fixed. They move, they heal, they transform, just as nature does. Sometimes you may notice moments of synchronicity, those strange, meaningful coincidences that seem to defy logic. Perhaps you meet someone who feels instantly familiar during your month, or you encounter challenges and opportunities that mirror the themes of your birth season. Jung saw synchronicity as evidence that the psyche and the world are connected in ways we cannot fully explain. Your birth month, then, is not just a marker of time, but a living symbol, a doorway through which life communicates with you, offering guidance, insight, and sometimes unexpected magic. If you find yourself yearning for change or longing to understand the patterns that keep repeating in your life, begin by honoring where and when your story began. Spend time in the season of your birth if you can. Walk beneath the same sky, notice the colors, the smells, the sounds. Listen for the messages carried by the wind or the falling leaves. Let your dreams guide you, for they often carry the wisdom of the unconscious, offering clues to the mysteries you have yet to uncover. Jung's path is not a straight line, but a spiral. Each return to the beginning brings you closer to your true self, revealing the layers of meaning you could not see before. The journey is never finished. The work of becoming whole is lifelong. But each step you take, each moment of reflection, each act of self-compassion, each willingness to look honestly at your own story, brings you deeper into the heart of who you are. Before you close your eyes tonight, try this simple practice. Find a quiet place away from the distractions of daily life. Sit comfortably and take a few slow, gentle breaths. Ask yourself softly, what gift does the season of my birth offer me now? Allow whatever comes, images, feelings, memories, to rise without judgment. Maybe you remember the sunlight on your skin, or the hush of snow, or the scent of earth after rain. Trust that your unconscious mind knows what you need, and let these images speak to you in their own language. You do not need to have all the answers. The meaning of your birth month is not a secret to be solved, but a companion for your journey, a source of insight and wonder as you move through the seasons of your life. Jung's wisdom is this: embrace your wholeness. Welcome every part of your story. Know that you are not alone, and that the path you walk is both utterly unique and deeply connected to the paths of others. If these insights resonated with you, please share your experiences below. Your story might be the spark that lights the way for someone else. And if you wish to continue exploring the depths of your inner world, subscribe for more videos inspired by the transformative wisdom of Carl Jung. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Until next time, embrace your whole self and honor the beautiful mystery of your own beginning.